Okay, so recently I've had some students that were really confused about collections, primarily arrays. But in this video, I wanted to cover arrays. We'll even talk about sets and dictionaries. So I was thinking about this, and I'm going to use an egg carton to explain array to you. So we're talking about arrays in Swift, as well as I'll try to put the code on the screen at the same time as we're talking. So when we're defining an array is just a collection, an ordered collection of things, right? And so you'll see I've got the numbers 0, 1, 2, and these are the position of things in your array. So in this case, the array would be this collection. And inside of the array, we can put all kinds of things like colors or fish or nuts and bolts. But Swift is actually pretty picky about the type of thing you put in a collection. So in this case, I'll put a color. So I'm going to write down the word color. And I'm going to label this as a collection of colors, right? So for instance, let's see, I'll open up my array here, and then I'm going to add, we'll put like some purple paper. We'll put purple paper, let's say in 0, the 0 position. Now when you add things to an array, you add them starting at 0, and then we'll put another purple color in the 1 position, and then you'll see things start at 0 and work your way up. Now, as far as I know, I don't think there's a limit to how many things you can have in a collection, but you can have 0 things in a collection. You can have a number of things in the collection. In this case, we're just assigning different colors to different positions in the array. So then later, if you want to say, hey, what's in position 2 in the array? Oh, it's pink, okay? So if you want to remove an object at the 0 position, you just pull this one out, then it's going to slide all these other ones down. And so now the 0 position is gone, and now in 0 position you have purple, and then pink, and then blue. So this is an array. It's a collection of things. And again, you could, let's say we don't want to put colors in there. Instead, I don't know, what do I have in my office? I have a bag of nuts. So I'll put nuts in there. And nuts is interesting. Nuts is not like something that Swift has natively. They don't have nuts defined. So I'm going to create a structure called nuts maybe, and then I'll put different nuts of different types inside of different sections of the array. So we'll throw an almond in there. I think what's that? A macadamia nut. This is interesting. This is probably not a nut. It is edamame. So you can't do that in Swift, right? Because you said these are going to be nuts, and you can't mix types inside of an array unless you assign that to be any type. Now, Swift is pretty picky about different types. And so usually you'll have a collection, your array will be all one type. But you can assign it as any item or any object or anything and throw anything in there. But then when you add functions and functionality to your arrays, you have to guard against like different things. Like you can't, I don't know, if it's a dog or a cat, or if it's an animal, like if this is a collection of animals, for instance, and then you try to put a nut in there, then when you go to call the function to make noise, the dog will bark, the cat will meow, and the nut won't make noise, right? The nut will crash. So you have to be careful about what types you put inside of your array in Swift. Some other languages are much more lenient. If you append an object, again, it starts at 0. But if you try to insert something into an empty array at the 3rd position, well, geez, I don't know. I'll have to check, but either it'll crash or it'll slide back down to 0. I don't think you can do that. You can't have like empty space here, right? You've got to start here and add. And then when you pull things out, like, so if you were to pull this almond out of position 1, remove it, then this one everything would slide down. And again, arrays don't have to have 12 things. They can have 0 things or a million things. You can have giant arrays or empty arrays. Also, if you try to access something over here on position 3 and there's nothing there, then your app will crash. Arrays are very picky like that. You want to check to make sure something is there before you try to access it. Okay, so what else about arrays? I mean, again, they start at 0, so it's a little weird. Like, there's 12 eggs in a dozen, right? But look, the position 11 over here, that's the final position. All right, so let's look at this. We've got an almond, a macadamia nut almond. How big is our array? We can check that by accessing the count property. So check the count of our nuts, and it counts as 3, right? So if you want to access the third nut, the one in the 3 position, it's actually, you see, it's at number 2. So 1, 2, 3. So because it starts at 0, it makes things kind of weird when you go to access them. Just keep that in mind, okay? Other thing that's interesting, let's talk about sets really quick. So usually we use arrays and dictionaries, but there's this other thing called a set. And a set, I like to think of set like if you're collecting something. Like let's say you're collecting pennies and you want a complete set. Well, actually let's say you're collecting colors and you want a complete set of colors, right? So here we've got purple, cool, and then we add pink, cool, and then we add this blue color, cool, and then we go to add this blue color, and it's like, wait a second, you've already got blue, right? We don't need to add another blue. So sets are very similar to arrays, except that you can only have one of each unique kind of thing. So if you try to add another pink to it, no. Try to add another blue, no, because we've already got that. But if I take this one and add the yellow, then if I try to add the yellow, then it's cool with that because we don't actually have a yellow in there. So that's what a set is. It's much like an array. It's an ordered collection of things. It's just that you can only have unique items in there. So if you try to add the same thing twice, it won't. It'll just kind of be like, nope, you've already got that one. It's cool. You're going for the full set, the complete set. Dictionary, like you throw this out because a dictionary is more like a. Let's see if I have a box here. Okay, here's a dictionary. We got a box, and in that box we're going to throw these colors, right? The colors that we had before. But how do you know, for instance, this pink from that pink, right? So in a dictionary, you give everything a key and so in this case, maybe I'll call this pink 1 and pink 2. So everything's going to have a key and a value. And the key is kind of like this unique identifier. Blue one. We'll call this one purple one, yellow one. Okay. Now the reason I throw it in the box is because dictionaries don't maintain their order. So you would shake this up. You don't know in which position the object is going to be in there. All you know is I'm looking for pink 1, and then you look in there and you're like, oh wait, this is pink 2. No, pink 1. I've got this key, and then the value is pink in this case. So this is a dictionary. You can have nuts in there, colors in there, dogs and cats, or whatever objects you want to throw inside of a dictionary. You can do that, but they all have a key to access them instead of like an array where everything's kind of in its own little order in its own place. Dictionaries, you can't always guarantee what position the object's going to be. You just say, hey, well, I'm actually looking for yellow number 1, and here's yellow 1. So before I get too many comments or emails, I did get one thing wrong, which is that sets are very similar to arrays. So the set is, again, the example where you have, like, you can only add so many collection of unique elements inside of it. But it's actually a set is actually unordered. It's kind of like the box example with the dictionary, where you don't know what position that object's going to be inside your set. So dictionary is unordered, set is unordered, and the array is the one that's in order. So 0, 1, 2, 3, it was the egg carton example. So hopefully that helps explain. Also, dictionaries, I may not have mentioned it, but dictionaries are also type sensitive. So if you have a dictionary of animals, you can't just randomly add a color to that. Unless you specify any property or any object is in your dictionary, it's going to be wanting that exact type of thing in your dictionary. And then you also assign it a key to access that. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If it was, click the like, subscribe to my channel, Cracking Code with Dave. And until next time, we'll catch you later. Hope you are all well and safe and good out there. Take care.